Greetings once again. This is the Digital MB, Martin Blythe, representing Team Clocked. Now, all I wanted to do today is basically talk about the news regarding Grand Theft Auto 5 that I think hit the news around about Tuesday or Wednesday this week. Absolutely staggering numbers coming in for this game. Basically, it was announced in a Take-Two financial call that they had shipped 45 million copies of Grand Theft Auto 5 worldwide. That now puts it on a list with Super Mario Bros., Minecraft and Wii Sports as the biggest selling games of all time. Now that is unreal. Now the other thing as well, what you have to remember is that the PC version isn't out yet. So yeah, those numbers are going to keep on growing and growing when that eventually comes out. So what I wanted to do today was basically talk about what I think is the key to Grand Theft Auto's success since it launched in the 90s. What you've got to remember is with Grand Theft Auto is that it was a very, very low budget game that came out for the PlayStation 1 and it looked pretty dreadful. And what basically happened with that game is it gave a very, very strange approach to the cops and robbers type of genre. And one of the things that stuck out with that, as everyone knows who's played Grand Theft Auto, which is a lot of people, is that you never ever played the cop in this instance. You played the bad guy. I don't care what you say about the characters or how well written they are, you are playing the bad guy. But I think that's one of the reasons why it did so well, because it flipped everything around with regards to who we are and who we are simulating in these video games. Obviously what happened was when the whole top-down view of Grand Theft Auto, when that started to get a little bit stale, that approach, then what happened was they went to the fully 3D open world type of game on the PlayStation 2. Now, one of the things with regards to Grand Theft Auto is that they've always stuck with the idea that graphics is always secondary. If you remember when they started launching the trailers for Grand Theft Auto 3, it looked absolutely dreadful. I mean, and it is, it's terrible. And that put me off a little bit for a while, because at the time, you think in PlayStation 2, I was only about 15, 16 years old, so, I was still into graphics. I want everything to look pretty, especially when I just put so much money into buying this next-gen console. At the time it was, anyway. But what happened is they were able to provide such a unique style of gameplay that no one could resist it. Now, with regards to the gameplay side of things, that is obviously caused a lot of controversy over the years and still does to this day. And I think that with regards to the gameplay, never has a game given you so much freedom to cause so much chaos and have absolutely no consequence in real life. The amount of times that me and my friends would get together and we would basically create our own little game within Grand Theft Auto where we would try and get 5-star police chases up to the point where you get the military on you, and we would time each other on how long we could last before we got killed or arrested. And this is in Grand Theft Auto 3 and up to Vice City and San Andreas. It's our own mini game. We created that. No one asked us to. It's what we decided to do, and that would be a full night sorted. We would spend hours and hours just playing that mini game on Grand Theft Auto. So I think that's another thing, another key to its success, is that you were able to create your own game within the game. Now, if you take a step back from that and think more towards what started happening with the series as it progressed up until the late 2000s, and obviously up to 2013, what we started to see was amazing storytelling and fantastic characters. So not only were they giving us all of the amazing gameplay that they gave us in the past, where you can do whatever you want and create all these own games within the game, but you could also start to relate to these characters. And Rockstar really made us feel quite dirty, because then we started to root for these horrible, horrible people, because the writing was so good. And they created all these little supporting characters that all had their own intricate personalities and mannerisms, and you just couldn't get away from how enjoyable these people were to be around, even though in reality you don't want to be around them. The horrible, horrible people. And then when it got to GTA 5, it was very, very comedy based. It was, it was a comedy game, and I think it was the first one where you could say it was a fully fledged comedic story, which it totally was. But they still kept that violence and those really disturbing, controversial sections that they've always had in the Grand Theft Auto games. They were still alive in the game. And then when you think the whole story side of it and the whole single player or local multiplayer aspect of Grand Theft Auto was polished and done, they then moved on to the online multiplayer. Now, don't get me wrong, they had a very, very shaky start with Grand Theft Auto 5 with regards to the online multiplayer, but for some reason no one wanted to put it down and ignore it. People were chomping at the bit to get a hold of the online multiplayer aspect of Grand Theft Auto, and now that the online part of it is now polished and it works well, it has attracted so many people, and through word of mouth, it has just become this huge phenomenon. And not only has it let us do what the game lets us do initially and just cause chaos, but it also means that we can meet other people across the world and do that thing that we were able to do back in Grand Theft Auto 3 and create our own mini-games inside the game, but on a global level. Those are key reasons as to why it's been so successful for this long. In terms of open world action games, there's not another game that I've played that has been a third person open world action game within a built up city that has come anywhere near Grand Theft Auto. I've played Watch Dogs, Sleeping Dogs, Saints Row, L.A. Noire. In some aspect you can also see The Godfather as well, which was a very old game. Even though these games worked exactly like Grand Theft Auto, I knew in my mind that they were always going to be second best. And I think it's because the mechanics of Grand Theft Auto are just so well done. No other company can compete with that. No other developer are able to match what they have done. Look at Saints Row, for example. Saints Row was trying to compete with Grand Theft Auto by creating just a copy of that, but in a more fictional world. And it got to the point with Saints Row that they knew that they couldn't compete with Grand Theft Auto anymore. Hence why, from Saints Row 3 onwards, the entire game just changed completely to this really crazy gameplay and these ridiculous characters. And because they knew that what is the point to compete with Grand Theft Auto when they just will not be able to beat it. So yeah, I mean, the key to Grand Theft Auto has been its unique approach to the video game world, the ability for us to create games ourselves, and also to be able to give us the freedom of choice with what we do with these characters. If we want to kill someone, we will do it. It sounds quite weird to say that, but that is exactly what they've done. They've been able to provide us with a tool to vent our frustration by going into a fictional world and destroying everything around us. And no other game has been able to come anywhere near Grand Theft Auto. And I honestly don't think that there'll be another game like it. This series is going to go on and on and on and make a ton of money and ship all these units because they will continue to evolve the game but keep those core mechanics that kept us coming back year in, year after. So guys, let me know what you think about the whole Grand Theft Auto legacy. You know, send a comment. Let me know what you guys think about what they should do next time for Grand Theft Auto 6. Do they go into a lot more online integration within the story side of things, maybe? Do they do another Grand Theft Auto game but in another country? Just like Grand Theft Auto London back in the day. Do they go back to the UK and do a game there? Do they would they let you be a female character? We'll never know. All I know is that the amount of time they put into their games, they're going to create something in the future that will keep us spending a lot of money on that company. And I don't mind that because Grand Theft Auto is fantastic. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you want to find out more about what Team Clocked are doing with regards to more videos and more Twitch streaming, you can follow us on Twitter at Team Clocked, and you can also follow me personally at The Digital MB. And also remember that we are doing live streaming of video games. One of them will be Grand Theft Auto 5 very, very soon. So you can go to twitch.tv/Team Clocked to find out what we're doing. So until next time, I'm the Digital MB, Martin Blythe, representing Team Clocked. Thanks very much.